You know that August is National Breastfeeding Month?
Did not know that.
Well, now you know.
Get to work.
Men looking to buy breast milk for themselves. One man even offers $250 for a supply.
Let's face it, many men have a breast milk fetish. But remember, using breast milk for something other than feeding newborn babies is inappropriate and wasteful. So if you're a middle-aged man who likes to, say, put on a baby bonnet and pour breast milk all over your naked body, fill up a sink with breast milk and dip your junk into it. Dress up like a giant baby and give yourself a breast milk enema. Or mix breast milk with eggs and dough and make booby cookies using chocolate chips for the nipples. Remember these words from women everywhere.
That was not what I wanted my breast milk used for.
This message brought to you by the National Breast Milk Council.
Paul and Al.
Whoa, watch it, pervert!
On 94 HJY.
An 83-year-old Republican Senator Orrin Hatch made a rather colorful comment yesterday when he was talking about how it was time for Republicans to move on from health care and tackle tax reform instead. He said, quote, "As far as I'm concerned, they shot their wad on health care." Obviously, a lot of people commented on the sexual connotation of that phrase.
Is there another?
Hatch's office clarified it's also a Civil War reference with a, quote,
And he was
wad.
there, so he should know.
Yeah, the wad being part of the weaponry of that time. To show that they had a sense of humor, they tweeted a guy who said, quote, "the phrase," and was used often during the Civil War when Hatch was just a young senator.
Right.
Yes, how old is that man?
Excuse me, does Mr. Hatch have any advice on avoiding another Civil War?
My only regret is that I have just one wad to give for my country.
Paul and Al.
That is what America stands for.
On 94 HJY.
I made it to opening night of the Newport Jazz Festival. They do the opening on that Friday night at the Tennis Hall of Fame.
Hey, well, you saw your favorite there, Trombone Shorty.
Trombone Shorty was just amazing. I mean, he still this young guy out of New Orleans, plays both trombone and trumpet, and he plays the drums and guitar. He basically shows off.
Wow.
He plays everything.
It's pretty amazing. And, of course, if there's somebody with that kind of talent at one end of the spectrum, there's got to be somebody on the other end of the spectrum.
The one person who will never play the Newport Jazz Festival.
Well, this is, I guess, this happened a few years ago in Brazil. It was for a wedding, a guy playing the wedding march, sort of. Sure, yeah. With a trumpet.
It's gone viral, so
it's gone viral. We got to play it, and it's just, so this is how they all begin, I guess. Like Radar O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to send this to my family. I played trumpet from like the 3rd grade to the 8th grade and was horrible.
Yeah, well,
and a trumpet is not one of those instruments you can practice quietly.
No.
This was the Fuller household.
Trumpet and drums, man.
Yeah.
Parents' nightmare.
You know what? Now I know the pain that my sister and brothers went through.
You're horrible, but you're better than this.
Yeah, I think so.
Paul and Al. Mornings on 94 HJY.
A new study found that women who watch porn are less sexually satisfied. And the main reason is they have unrealistic expectations that their men will be well hung and last a long time, like in the porn studios.
They don't notice things called edits, do they?
Yeah, right.
Nobody wants the porn more realistic. I mean, that's the truth, is that if it was more realistic, nobody would be watching it.
Like on a sci-fi film, right?
Be like, oh, is this over yet?
You hear the woman say, beige. I think I'll paint the ceiling beige.
And the video lasts 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. More like minute 45.
That includes credits.
Yeah.
Paul and Al.
It's like they just, had a big old nasty party.
Paul and Al. Mornings on 94 HJY.
Lawman is putting in
listen to my running.
Hey, it's your home of rock and roll, 94 HJY. In the least surprising news of the weekend, I guess on the Deadliest Catch, which is still going strong.
Yeah, 72 seasons later. I think Sig Hansen is like 103 years old now.
And Sig was airlifted off, what is it, the Northwestern? Is that his boat still? And he was airlifted off because of chest pains, which is no surprise because we had Sig in the studio here.
Oh, he made John Mellencamp look like a non-smoker.
His smoking was so bad, and in between his sentences, you could hear that smoker wheeze thing through the microphone.
Yeah, right.
And he was here, might have been maybe a half hour, and he literally had to go outside, ride the elevator down outside twice to get a cigarette break.
So if you want to meet Sig Hansen,
get an outdoors
area, about 50 yards from the building.
That's exactly it. So no surprise there.
You've seen the real-life drama on the Discovery Channel, and now it's coming to our town. The Deadliest Catch isn't in the Bering Sea or even in the North Atlantic. The Deadliest Catch can be found right here on the streets of South Providence.
I am a prostitute. Whores giving away. Prostitute seller. I'm not giving nobody nothing.
If you thought the highest risk job in the world was catching Alaskan king crab, think again. It's catching her crabs or any one of the 17 STDs she's carrying.
No, I'm clean. Because whores, I'm not.
Reeling in an innocent-looking snapper could cost you your life.
What do you mean that you can get anything from me if I bite you?
New on the Discovery Channel and filmed right here on the streets of South Providence.
Okay, I won't bite you.
It's an all-new season of the Deadliest Deadliest Catch.
Oh, no, they're up for it. But I'm not up for going back to jail.
The Discovery Channel is not responsible for violent gastrointestinal or regurgitating reaction to viewing the show in HD. The lesions, pustules, and festering scabs must be viewed at your own risk.
You see, I'm asking people for change just to get a sandwich.
Cole and Al, mornings on 94 HJY.
I went to Leap Fest yesterday down at URI.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How was that?
Behind the West Kingston Elementary School, there's like turf farms out there all over.
So,
and the parachuters drop in. There's a big X on the lawn. And the closest you get to it, the more points you get. Obviously, 70 teams, 9 different countries. And it was really cool.
Now, outside of that X, is it like, are there burning flames or razor blades or something like that?
Come on, make it a challenge.
Alligators.
Right. Otherwise,
you're just landing on a farm somewhere.
Yeah, you got to have some...
A price to pay.
Reasons to show up. But it was...
Now, were they all wearing underwear?
Most of them were. A couple of them. But
the ones that didn't, you could hear them whistling all the way down.
I had to announce all the ones coming down.
Did you really?
So for the U.S. ones, it was, pretty easy. And then the Italian ones were a little tough. And the ones from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Those are some interesting names to rattle off. They do it in teams of like 4 or 5, so that if a couple of teams are coming down at once, you get like 10 parachutes out there.
Gee, that's
really very nice.
The canyons come down really fast.
That must be a challenge doing play-by-play for skydiving.
They always
That's
win
unique.
Yeah, it's hard to really identify them from a distance.
Jumps up. That's disgusting. I don't have to answer that question. So the teacher asks Johnny, who says, that's easy, the pupil of the eye. And the teacher says, that's correct, Johnny. Very good. And then the teacher turns to Jessica and says, I got 3 things to say to you, young lady. First, you didn't do your homework. Second, you have a dirty mind. And third, you're in for a big disappointment.
HJY.
This guy goes to the doctor, and he's got a note in his hand, and it says, Doctor, I have a severe stuttering problem. I can barely communicate, so we figure this out. I said, okay. So through many tests, they figure out somehow that the guy's endowment is the cause. So
let me guess, they do penis reduction surgery, and the guy, after a week or two, wants his unit back to its regular size, and he goes
and
up to the doctor.
Says, there's no freaking way I'm going to give it back to you.
All right, 2 guys are sitting in the bar talking when their neighbor walks in, so the 2 guys continue talking. One says to the other one, hey, I heard that guy right there slept with every woman on our street except for one. Guy says, really? I'm going to see about that. So he goes home and says to his wife, hey, is that true? Our neighbor slept with every girl on the street except for one. Did you hear anything about that? His wife says, oh, it must have been that stuck-up bitch down the street.
Winning joke on Stop the DJ, submitted by Ron DeFall.
I bought some of those flavored condoms the other day. I said to my wife, hey, let's play a game. I'll put one on and you try to guess what flavor it is. She said, great. So she closes her eyes, goes under the blanket, and says, cheese and onion flavor. I said, for God's sake, let me put one on first.
Oh.
Cole and Al, mornings on 94 HJY.
How do you guys sleep on your side, back?
Flat on my back or on my right side. My left shoulder hurts. So
really?
I can't sleep on the left.
I'm on my left shoulder, left side, because that points me toward the TV.
Well, that's great because that means
it does.
I'm kind of left side too.
Yeah, I thought for a second you're going to say points me north because that's the way
No,
this is where
actually, Shorts, I'm similar to you, so we could spoon, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, where that circumstance.
No question.
Found out in a recent study kind of confirms it. Another study is people who sleep on their stomachs have more erotic dreams.
Really?
A new sleep study has revealed that those who sleep on their stomachs are more likely to have dreams about sex, while those who sleep on their left sides are more likely to have nightmares. Except in the case of the wives of Paul and Al, who sleep on their stomachs and have dreams about sex with their husbands, which is also a nightmare.
Honey, wake up! You're having a bad dream. And well, now that you're up, do you want to have sex?
Cole and Al, mornings on 94 HJY.
So this weekend is the 5th annual dad and daughter camping weekend. Taking my daughter camping again.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, here it is. My top 5 tips for having a great camping trip.
Okay.
At number 5, the woods can be dangerous at night. So when I need firewood, I send her out to get it.
That reminds me of one of those jokes with like the guy and the young boy walking into the woods.
Hey,
He's
kid,
like,
why are you scared?
yeah.
I'm the one who's coming out of the woods alone.
Yeah.
All right.
At number 4, I remember always to pack water-resistant matches in case I need to light my bong during a flood. At number 3, I keep a giant stick nearby to beat off wild animals. All right, that sounded a little weird. Sorry.
You don't come here to camp, do you?
At number 2, it's a fact that insects will leave you alone if you maintain a blood alcohol level above 1.5. No problem there, really. But the top tip I have for great camping trips, I pick a really good camping site, like a Marriott.
Paul and Al. God, you're pathetic. 94 HJY. HJY.